What's up guys, Nate Petrosky from Narrowway Homestead. I've got another video for you. I gotta keep the light on this thing. This is my lighting. Anyway, I have ducklings and chickens in this chicken run and they're babies and it's winter time and I'm limited on electric, particularly with my solar having some issues. So let's see how I'm doing all this. I haven't done it on a cold day yet, really. The cold nights are coming, but I have a kerosene lantern in there that I actually used for this exact thing about 4 years ago. So interesting to see how different ducklings and chickens are. The chicks almost always stay separated. The ducklings are all about coming out when I'm out. I really don't want you guys getting out. I don't want to step on you guys. So I gotta prioritize health and safety of you guys over filming. What's up guys? Why did you guys come out? Why were you making so much noise? The chickens seem to know what to do at night. Chickens are always better. I do have a brooding plate in there. That thing's smoking a little bit now. You see that? That might be what they're fussing about. It is a pretty decently ventilated area. But not nice heat. That's cool. This is why I'm out here checking on this stuff. And I figured while I was going to check on it, I'd make a video. That's the wrong way. There, let's turn that down a little bit. You guys can see the flame better when I do this. Jen recently trimmed the wick on it. Much better. That might be why they were fussing. They're like, hey, something's wrong. Thanks guys for letting me know. It's the whole reason I even came over here. I was doing other stuff. And I was like, oh, I should film a video about this whole process. So these lanterns are really cool because the ones that actually work and not just for display, you can tip them over and the flame will go out if you have the glass installed properly. Don't ask me how I know when the glass is not installed properly, because it literally snuffs the air out. I don't even remember exactly how it all works. It has something to do with these. These allow air. Yeah, these have something to do with allowing air, and I think when it tips over, it messes up the air intake, cutting the flame off from air, and then nothing cool can happen. Eventually, as they get bigger, this coop is going to have this middle wall taken out of it. But that thing is supposed to just help keep everything warm and dry in there. As a backup, that brooding plate back there. But tonight we're supposed to see 32 degrees. I have no doubts they'll be fine if they stay in there. The reason it's wide open is so if something were to get too hot, they have somewhere to leave. And if it would, for some reason, catch something on fire, well, it's masonry, so there shouldn't be that big of a fire. There's really not much fuel to burn at all in there. And they can just run out and leave the area. Pretty big run. But anyway, the reason I have ducklings is because I don't have any male ducks anymore. I have a bunch of Muscovy ducks, but I'm going to need males to continue everything. And the reason I have chickens is because they're really crazy about digging and tearing up soil, and they've got from now until spring to decimate all this sod and essentially till it. Of course, they'll be putting their waste and stuff in it too. And this area will make a great garden, and the reason I have this thing is for Jen to garden in. It wasn't really for birds at all. The ducks stay in that chicken tractor over there. But this is to keep ducks out of. But for right now, they can be in here. But as soon as Jen plants stuff, she'll be able to plant her garden stuff in here and it will keep things out. Now this won't keep big animals out, but that's what Az, the livestock guardian dog, is for. And that tarp thing will obviously disappear when the time comes. This is just some really wimpy chicken wire. All it's supposed to do is keep essentially birds out. Maybe deer, at least for a little bit. And probably keep deer out. But yeah, that is what's going on in here. I'm just going to keep updating this as time goes on. Let you know how it's working out. But I got this lantern 4-ish years ago from Lehman's. They're a cool store in Ohio. They also have a website, which is what I ordered it from because I had never been to their store before. But they actually have really cool stuff for people that live off grid. I've also got this tucked under the cinder block here. So even just them bumping it and stuff shouldn't cause an issue. Yeah, I hear you. I hear you guys. You guys are awesome. All right, we're going to check in on you guys in a few days and see how it's all making sense. Or is it? I've never done ducklings and chicks at the same time. So it'll be interesting to see what happens and how it all works out. Baby birds made it through the first night. Was that the second night? I think it was actually the second night. Anyway, I'm losing track even though it's been early. And they're all doing great. It's like 30, mid-30s and rainy. Hold on, guys. You guys are going to get to be an escaping sooner or later. Came in for a landing. Hey, you guys supposed to be staying inside and dry and stuff, you know, because cold. Baby birds do better in the cold than people think sometimes. I'm just checking on them all the time because I know it doesn't take long. Once they get too cold, it's only a matter of minutes before it's too late. But any of them that are cold, hanging out underneath that thing apparently. And this thing's just hopefully keeping everybody kind of dry, keeping things warm-ish, not nearly as cold to the touch as these are. So far, so good. We'll check back later. All right, let's go check on the chicks. We got an upgrade. They got an upgrade in their heat. One of the reasons is because it's now much colder than it was. You can tell by snow and various things. Why in the world is the chick leaving the heated area? Listen, guy, that one's out. We're not doing that one. We got this one. Layman's sent an upgraded lantern. It's just a bigger lantern. They must not be that cold. They're not really hanging out at it. They're choosing to hang out a little further away, and that's okay. They're supposed to be able to regulate their temperature. Got that electric thing unplugged. What are you doing? You make me nervous with the whole leaving. Got this thing in the way, trying to block some of the wind. Did you get lost? Are you cold? What's your deal? Oh no, you're warm. Not too warm, but you're warm. Here. Got a full... You just got full of food. You thought you needed food. That's okay. Yeah, that's warm. We're making heat. I'll plug this back in just in case something funny happens. I'd like them to have as much heat as possible. Cool. Well, last night was really, really cold. Hey, bud. Like 19 degrees. 18, something like that. And it's still pretty chilly out here. Sun's out, which really helps, but look at all these ducklings. They are doing just fine. I can't believe how little time they spend back in the warm spot, and they just wander around here. The chicks, on the other hand, a couple of them didn't make it, despite the fact that they were for sure cuddled up with these ducklings, supposedly all in a nice warm pile by the kerosene heater underneath the electric heater as well. They didn't make it. Okay, only some of them didn't make it. There's 4 of them, but they made it into the house where they're chilling right now, and I'll show you them in a minute. One thing I learned, despite the fact that ducklings seem to be extremely fragile, they seem to be much hardier than baby chicks. I think they can handle about 30 degrees. We're supposed to reach 40 couple today. So I'm going to bring the chicks back out here and I will just keep monitoring them constantly. One of these guys, for whatever reason, I caught twice hanging outside for whatever reason. It was obviously cold. Yeah, I got the babies. It was obviously cold and it just wouldn't cuddle up with the other ones. So twice it had to get warmed up in a little more of an urgent fashion. So I just have to watch these guys like crazy. Yes, yes. Hang on a sec. I'm doing everything one-handed, bub. Leave it. I gotta be able to walk. Good boy. Guys, gotta do a better job of keeping these guys warmed up. Yeah, we gotta do a better job. Should be significantly warmer out here today and tonight, and that little cold snap is over. We need to all grow and learn. Listen! What are the problems? Oh, we've got issues. Crazy ducks. Oh, we got such issues. Every single one of you out here has a bird brain. You guys are bird brains, in case you didn't know. Look at you feeling so warm. It's cold out here and you're just like, oh, that's cool. All right, these guys will soak up some sunshine. They can still go in by the kerosene heater. I'm just going to check on these guys constantly, and if it gets below 25 degrees and they don't have more feathers, I'm just bringing them in because that's the only way to keep them alive, apparently. All right. There's been some updates with the ducklings and the chickens. Most notably, some of the chicks have not made it. Ducklings are all doing amazingly, but the chicks seem to have kind of stunted their growth. You can see one back there. She looks really tiny. Little tiny head. Anyway, it's starting to get cooler out. Again, it's been real warm recently. One of the chicks somehow disappeared. Not sure how. That was kind of crazy. 2 of them, I believe, passed from cold. And one of them, they flipped over the little electric heater thing. And that does not weigh much at all. But somehow, it just so crushed the chick. And she didn't make it. It was kind of a freak thing. But I don't think the chances of that is real high. It's happening again. Because I've debated taking that thing out. But the electric, just an electric hot spot to help keep them warm. I debated putting the ducks in in with the larger ducks. I thought ducklings were kind of wimpy and all kinds of stuff. Compared to chicks, they seem just unbelievably resilient. But if I were to do that, then the chicks need something to cuddle with for warmth, and that's what they're doing with the ducks. I don't think 3 of them produce enough body heat, even though I have all these extra heat sources. Basically, I'm down to 3 chicks, 7 ducklings. Ducklings are all doing just really well. Get this lamp lit again. What's up, duck? What's up, duck? Anyway, I'm kind of disappointed with how all that's going. I also think the chicks' growth is just like simply stunted. They should be the same size as the ducklings, or at least not that much smaller. It seems a little. Like the size comparison's crazy. And it's not my first time with chicks. That's gross. Not my first time with chicks. Alright, we're gonna have to turn that down. Gotta do that right so there's no smoke. Thing's being feisty with me. Let it warm up, do its thing. Yeah, I know the ducklings get bigger eventually, but these guys are just like resilient tanks, and the chicks are just like, yeah, I don't know. The chicks have more feathers and stuff. Anyway, make sure this thing gets to burning good. That's probably pretty good. It's not gonna be too cold tonight. I do stick a cardboard box here. It's back pretty far from the flame. I really think I'm going to replace it with metal. The chances of this getting knocked over and actually causing a fire, very low. It'd be more likely something would get real close to it, but that box can't get in here. It kind of provides a little bit of a windbreak. But that's how it's going. Wish it was going better. Baby birds in the wintertime is a challenge, but honestly, baby birds any time of year is challenging. I have certainly struggled significantly without the challenge of the cold a couple times. Actually, the other day, the ducklings were all out huddled over here while the chicks were wondering what to do. It's like it's too cold. Too cold for you guys. Ducklings were fine though. Guess they got some down feathers. It's not that much. Okay. You're fine. Chickens get colder faster, and they kind of need the ducklings to cuddle with. This is just the situation we're dealing with, so hopefully they make it, because I want to chickens and ducks. We'll check back after a bit. Alright, it's been probably a couple weeks since I've done an update on the ducklings and the chickens. As you can see, the landscape has significantly changed. I would have the ducklings out with the other ducks now, but the chicks are still quite small, and they need to cuddle up with them for warmth, and so far that's been working out just fine. But look at these things. They're huge. How you doing? All warm and stuff. You guys are all coming out. Need a water change. At least you still have water. I've had Twitch hanging out here watching them because it's the only place that this phone will keep a charge. They're all hanging out. I don't really want to disturb them too much. Did lose one more chick. Not really sure why. This room is plenty warm enough for them. Some of them do seem to be having some minor foot frostbite issues. They're on wood chips. Like they should be fine, but when they choose to walk out here and get super cold feet, there's really not much I can do about it. Kind of a, I don't know, survival of the fittest thing. In some ways, in a lot of ways, I'd like every single animal to survive, but you can only help them so much, and they're just going to make certain choices sometimes. But the ducklings are all very hardy, still 7 of them. They're very, very socialized. Probably the most socialized ducklings I've ever had. I'm hoping it sticks well into adulthood, but yeah, they're doing good, guys. Not bad for a wintertime thing. But hopefully you guys enjoyed the progression of it all. We've had some very, very cold days. They seem to have done quite well considering. Lost a few, but even in nice weather, I end up losing a few baby birds one way or the other. Sort of think the chicks' growth is sort of stunted. They're kind of small. Maybe they'll come out here for me. Look at that. If I pretend like I'm gonna leave, they come parading out. The chicks are more interested in making sure they're by the heat. I have definitely learned that Muscovy ducklings are much hardier than whatever chickens I have. I just call them chickens. I don't think they're anything specific, but I wish they would come out here too. I want to show you guys. Oh, or I can turn the light on and just stick this in there. There's the 2 chicks. Significantly smaller than the ducks. But they seem to be okay until, randomly, sometime they're not. But I've been out here at all hours of the day. I actually came out at 4 a.m. this morning. So I saw the light was kind of dim in the Twitch stream, and I was like, man, I hope it's okay. I came out, turned it up just a little bit. Made sure there was plenty of heat because it was really cold, like 14, 15 degrees, something like that. You guys are bobbling Twitch all around. I don't think they appreciate that. Alright guys, thanks for watching. I'll keep you guys updated as they progress.
With the beard and the vision, he narrates his life. Cutting firewood, training beasts away. away from city strife. The ducks they roam freely, a quiet army true. Muscovies in the meadow, foraging in the dew. Lord minion, small but grand, he's the kingdom's pride. Chasing on the odds with dying at my side, and when it's time to collect his stock,